Hi all, so I'm back for another session in our Rolodex, aka Book is Art, Gellidex. But what I'm thinking about, I will do some collaging today because the last time I came to you we did a lot of printing, we printed a lot of cards. So here these are there. And so what I'm doing is I want to just keep on collaging on these because, as you know, this is going to be a legit book. I will be actually, I've been writing the storyline for it, and so I will be adding that into on the pages. So I'm actually now typing it, I'm retyping it, and I'll probably print it out on some coffee stained paper and stuff so that it will blend in nicely with this. I'll also probably use some onion skin so that there's some translucency, and so as I put each line or a phrase of the writings on here, they'll go on each card all the way through. So that's the goal here by December, right? So we got all these pages to get going. So today what I thought I would work with is, I've been using these washi tapes, which I love. They're, I think I showed you this one before, and these came in since then. This is an Italian love letter. This is, of course, the kanji script. This is pages from Leonardo da Vinci's journal. And this is, you know, just the Chinese stamp seals. So I love those because I love calligraphy or any kind of text. Guys who've been following me know that. So what we're going to do is a few different things here on translucent backgrounds to work a few of these cards. So I'll show you some of the techniques that I'm going to use. One of them is I've, reproduced on this onion skin paper some old sheets of the Japanese, Asian writing, the kanji script. This is that one of my followers, fellow artists, and Patreon supporters sent me, Cindy, out of California. Thanks, Cindy. And so what I did is I didn't want to use these directly yet, so I reproduced them on just a piece of copier paper, and I used that as my master template, and then I took that and used that to copy onto some onion skin. So we can use all different pieces of that. This is some more that I have from a book that I got when I was in Australia. Did the same thing with. This is a stamp that was sent to me by Judith, another one of my followers and supporters on Patreon and fellow artists. Love these. I put them on one of these acrylic backings so I can just do them. So we're going to stamp with this as well. Love it. Thank you, Judith. And she also had sent me some tea papers, abaca papers, tissue papers that I don't have in front of me right now because I was going to use them for something a little different, but we're going to still use the idea of it. So you can either use tea bags that are used and you've emptied them out, and I just kind of keep a little group of them. So if you want them already stained. Also, if you don't want them stained and you just want the tea bag paper to be able to jelly print on where it's already flat, or you want to paint on, I get these little paper tea filters. There's 100 in a box for I think about maybe $5 or $6. Yeah, $5.99. This brand is made in Germany. I get this at my local apothecary where I get like my loose herbs and stuff for my teas. But I'm sure that you can find this brand online or something like it on Amazon or even in your local areas. I'm sure these are easy to find. And what I like about these is they're already flat. So they're nice because you can literally lay them down and just jelly print on them so easily. And they're already pretty strong. And then you could use these. So I'll have to do a session where I show you guys how to do that. But these are cool to find. And then you can just, they're a bag so they, expand but you can just literally pull them apart also and use the individual papers. So we will work with that. I just have some other bits and pieces of papers I've jelly printed on. This is a napkin. So a 3-ply napkin. I've simply separated the 2 plies that are just white and left with this. And I like these shells and some of this scripting, so I'll use this. And this is just some extra tissue paper that I did I kind of did off printing on off the jelly plate just to clean it. But I like all these little marks and stuff, so you can use something like that. This is some more reproduction of a jelly print. This is a jelly print that I did on a book page, and then I reproduced it on stained paper. So I'm just showing you all the different papers. This is just a reproduction of an envelope I've had 100 years, literally. And so the stamps. So you can use real stamps. We can use stamps like this. This is a old handkerchief that I jelly printed. That I reproduced on, and then coffee stain. That's what I did. But I like the little sort of wispy nature of these, watercolor nature of these flowers. So I thought that may be fun to pull 1 or 2 of those. So that's what we're going to do. So I kind of wanted to show you some of it. Now I want to get the red, the scarlet, the claret. And we'll go ahead. Oh, I know. Also, I have some book pages from this book that I just brought back from France. They're really old, but I like the color of the pages and stuff, so I'll probably do something with that. And so that's probably enough to get us going. So the first thing I want to do is just go ahead and ink this up. So I really just take the ink pad and do it this way. I find I can get it a little bit more color down. What we'll do is stamp. I did have something else I thought I was bringing here. I don't know what I did with it. Oh yeah, I did have these tea paper, the Joss papers as well, the gold and the silver. So we'll play with those as well. Okay, so let's just take this, and we'll just print right over top of this tissue paper that I jelly printed on. I love this. This is the one that Judith did for me. I love this little organic shape. And she sent me some of this green stamp material so I can make my own as well. I'll do this like this so we can get one down like this as well. We're just putting these down random so that just kind of rub it a little bit. Nice. Love it. I'll just do one more just to get some of this so I can come back to it. So while this is drying, we'll use some of the other stuff we have going, but I love this. And I think we'll also, just like this, let's see, how do we want to do this, like, maybe like that. And then I have Seth After one here as well. So I'm going to use this one on the tea stained paper. And this is, you know, like I'm just kind of showing you ways to sort of use organic stamps, or if you have stamps that you like. Let me see, let me grab one of these tea bags. So I'll move this out the way, let it dry a bit, and I'm just going to put one of these. These are one of the bigger tea bags that I was showing you, but it's been stained. So that's the same brand. But it's it's been stained. So let's just take and open it up a bit, and let me get, this is Seth Apter stamp. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, I did have another block, but I want to take time to set it up, so we'll just do it like this. Put this down. Putting half is going to be, I'm doing it on the back side, so half of this will go, it'll be a split print between, see, the pocket. You guys know I love circles, so, and I love Seth's work, did a workshop with him, so I got this little stamp because I really liked it. It reminded me so much of my own circles that I've done. So we'll put that there. And okay, perfect. Perfect. So that's just stamping that paper we'll use. Alrighty, let's start off by getting one of these. I think right off I'm going to take a piece of this. I think I'll take this section right here. Just add a little something to the card. So now we're just going to be collaging and adding to what we're doing here. Just get myself a piece of paper to work on. Okay. So take some of this off. I think I'm going to put this like right here. And I don't think I wanted to go to the other side. I'll just glue that up over there. Okay. There. Okay. It just starts adding some dimension to the card. See, that's cool. I like how that blends in. And on this side, let's see, let's get a little bit of, I think I'll take a little bit of this text right here. And I like adding the text since I'm going to ultimately be adding the text of the storyline. I think using the text as a sort of as a theme to the collaging is nice. That way I'm introducing text and I'm not going to just be introducing it when, you know, comes time to put the storyline in here. It's like already a part of the whole collaging. This is done on, this has been reproduced on onion skin. So I'm just showing you the different substrates that you can use to get that nice translucent look. And just add a little something to the cards. So put that one over there for right now. I love this color so much. I wonder what this would look like on there. Do that. Also do, maybe I'll do this right here. Let's see. I like this, but I don't know that I want to cover so much of that up. So I want something that's a little bit more, oh, I know what I can use. Some of my seashells. That'll be nice because, oh, this is nice right here because it'll be translucent, but it still goes, you know, with the colors that we're working with here. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay. I'm going to just glue this whole thing and put it all the way to the other side. And I got to kind of be a little careful with this because this napkin is already thin now and I don't want to rip too much of it. But fortunately, you don't need a lot of glue to get it down there. So let's put this there like that. And then this is going to go to the other side. Wow, that went down beautifully. Just a little bit of language on the opposite side. So we'll just go ahead and trim this off. So I love, so just go to your dollar stores, and the dollar store is a great place for napkins. But I also go to, like, for those of you who have Tuesday mornings, they're a great place to get napkins on the cheap. But then, any of the sort of Ross or TJ Maxx, places like that, or Home Goods, any place where they're selling, like, the discounted napkins and what have you, because you get so many of them in a pack that for a few dollars, I use them a lot in collaging when I can find the ones that have themes that I like. So this was one of them. The one with the shells and everything. Oh, as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, gotta have that. And look at that. That looks so good on there. Like, so how easy is that? So, you just work your themes in, and even the color of this shell works well with the jelly printed colors in there. So I'll put this one to the side for a while. Might come back to that. So all of these, I'm just kind of going through, just showing you how I'm going to work with them. Just working kind of quickly, not a whole lot of fussing with it. Just kind of showing you some of the different stuff that I have. Like this right here, I would put down. This is a jelly print, one of my scripts, and just because I have this blank space there, this would be a great place to add that element. But let me get a little bit of the Ganesh, which is a deeper brown, in this stays on. You guys know how much I love this stays on. And get rid of that white. See the white paper there where it tore. So I just let the ink really just soak into there, and then along the sides. I really try to keep it right to absorbing the color in the sides. I really don't do a whole lot of distressing on the surface. Just me, for one. I just think it has its places, but I don't like to do it all the time over the whole thing. But I do like the idea of how it frames. You can see already there how it just frames the piece of paper that we're working with. Okay, so we're going to just put this down here. Oh, that's good. So that went down over there nicely. And that's a jelly print right there as well. So that was done on paper. So we're just adding, so you can add bits of your scrap jelly prints to them. And I think what I'm going to do here is maybe, let me see, I have this pieces of my tape when I'm just not, well, I like that because that has a lot of seals on it, but I'm going to put a little bit more glue. It's sticky, but it's been sitting up there on my tripod for a little while. That's where I put my spare pieces of tape. So I'm going to put a little bit more glue on it so that I know it's going to, just do it so that it kind of comes over to the other side a little bit. Let me see. I love this washi tape. So there we are. Adds a little something there. Keep an eye on the time because these videos can go but so long. Look at that. Really nice, yeah? So we're just kind of building up these little stories on the, let me see what I have here. Let's take this little piece here. And maybe just kind of let it come into the print. And then I also want to show you what the paper that we stamped is going to look like. And we got a little bit of gold paper. So I'm just kind of just doing a video and overall showing you guys me doing my cards and just kind of giving you ideas on how, you know, the different things I'm doing and the materials I'm using to collage with, so we can get through our project. So I'm just sliding it closer to that edge. Oh, I love it. And when this dries, of course, I can cut that space out there. We want layers though, so when we actually put our storyline down, we'll have, let me see, let's get another one here. We'll have, you know, this one right here just reminds me of something that this little flower would go, because it already has this sort of organic, sort of flowery line pattern, and I think the colors will go well. So this little flower that I had saved over here that I reproduced from a old handkerchief that was like my grandmother's that I inherited. Of course, I don't use handkerchiefs. Most of us don't these days. So I use that stuff back in my art now. And I show a lot of that over on Patreon. We're using a lot of different, you know, things that sometimes you don't even think about using. So I'm always showing a lot of that stuff there. And this came from one of my Gelli Junkadori inserts that we're working on over there. I'll try to show you real quickly. And so this was a piece that I had already started using and had reproduced it on tea stain paper. See, that's really cool. I like that. I'll show you real quick where I used it as a full spread in my. This is the book that we're doing over on Patreon. The Gelli Junkadori. I think you've seen some of this. So this is a spread that I used a couple of those handkerchiefs on. So this is on paper. It's been reproduced from handkerchiefs onto paper. I coffee stained it. These have stamps on them. This is the actual piece of this is another piece of that paper that I just used, and then I used a piece of lace as a flip down on it. This is some more vintage lace that I had, which was really gorgeous stuff there. So anyhow, that's an example of a page that we did with it. And so now the scraps, so even when you're doing, you know, your junk journaling and stuff like that, all those scraps, I just put it right into a basket because we can use it. And so this Gelli, this project here is perfect for our scraps. There's no need to really buy a new paper or to, you know, I mean, if you want something here or there, but truthfully, we all have enough of the scraps left to use for this Gelli, this Jello, you know, this Gellidex book that we're creating. And that's why I started it too, because I have so much of this, and I like working in some of the smaller structures like this, and at the same time, you know, I get to use up a lot of the bits and pieces of stuff that I really like. And I like that. That's that one, this one. So we'll do a couple more. On this side of it, let's just get a bit of here. Since I have that gold there, let's just get a little bit of this on this side, like right there. That could be cool. Just a little bright bit of color. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and get some glue on here and then cut the rest off. Just get a little bit of glue and then sort of lay this card down, lay it down where I want it, sort of like how much I have, like that maybe. And then the rest of it will cut off. Okay. Okay. This is good. All right. so that's that over there. Perfect. So it gives it a nice little edging. A little bit of the color came off because this is like sort of gold paper. So that's okay, because I'll come back and either I can, what can I do right now? I can just take one of my little seals that I like that I was getting ready to use earlier and didn't. So let's just take this and we'll just kind of put it over top of that. It's a lot of ways to deal with that little spot, but we're constantly just adding layers to things. So let's just add that little layer there right now. That looks good. Let's go ahead and just burnish a little bit with our bone folder. Love it. That looks so good. It just like gives a finishing touch to our little jelly print. So each of these are like just little paintings that we're just adding bits and pieces to, and then the final bit will be the line, the scripting from my storyline. Okay, let's see. I'm still looking pretty good on time, so let's grab this and let's get a bit of this here. Just going to cut this out a little bit like that first, and then let's just see what we'll put this down on. I'm looking for some of the, because you remember when we were printing these, I'm always saying don't worry about having every bit of it covered, because we'll be coming back and sort of covering on top of them. So this may be a good place for that. So let's just go ahead and now get a more torn line, because sometimes some of the prints are better than others, as we're laying them down on the plate and just building up. So we're just really working on, first of all, just getting some color onto the cards and some layering and dimensioning. That's basically what we're doing with the jelly printing of it. And then we can come back with our jelly printed scraps and stuff like we're doing here, and then just add more layers to the print. So like to put a full piece down on like this that I'm thinking of, although I might wrap this around the edge some too, because that could be cool. So like I think what I'll do is put this sort of like that, and then wrap a little bit of it over. Oh, I love that. So we get a little bit of that on this side, and see that tissue paper is just really good, and I love that. And I love the fact that we did it on top of a piece that already had jelly printing on it. So I got that black scripting from the jelly print. So that's looking good. That really looks good. And see, that background really blends in nicely with this stamped tissue paper. I really love that stamp that Judith made for me. I'm crazy about it. I took it with me to France too when I was doing my workshop there. Oh, I loved it. Okay, so I'm loving that there. So I've shown you that one. And let's see. I feel like I had something else I was going to... Oh. Let's just see how these papers are going to look. Show you this one. So we'll get a little bit of this tissue, the onion skin. So we've done tissue paper. We've done the Joss papers, which are thin, which is this stuff here. I'm gonna do a piece of this too, another piece of the tea paper. We've used onion skin. So anything like that you can think, this was onion skin as well. Anything that you can think of that's thin and translucent, I think that's good. Now, even though the flower that I put down from the handkerchief was on tea stained bond paper. So So you can do bits and pieces of a, you know, of an opaque kind of paper too. I just think it's good to kind of alternate between, because with these prints that we have on here, we don't want to lose too much of the imagery either. So, but you can kind of, you know, go between thin layers and thick layers as well. So that's there on the end. So it's just kind of adding that little bit of text from an old Chinese dictionary. I'm trying to get it to focus. Come on, focus. So hard to appreciate it when it doesn't focus. There we are. So that just adds a nice bit, and it wrapped around to this other side, so that works well there as well. And we're going to keep on adding to these. What I do is I like to work a lot of cards at the same time. So like I would work these like this and just keep on getting bits and pieces. And then in another session, I would come back and maybe add even more to it. I don't want to stop. I got so many little pieces like this I love. Let's get this little piece here. Now this is also a Gelli print that I reproduced on bond paper. So here again, just taking a little bit of shape and color and getting, let me see, which one do I want to do? I'll use Cloudy Sky, which is kind of like a, I always think of it like a typewriter blue. You think of a typewriter, old typewriter ribbon or text. Okay. Let me see. As soon as I dropped it down, I saw this little blue spot there. Look how perfect that is. It's like it's turquoise in there as well. So let's go ahead and put that there. And there's a blank spot there too where it didn't get completely Gelli printed. So that's a good place to put this. So do I want to put it like that? Yeah. Okay, wrap this over. And I'm big on wrapping things over too. I think you get a lot out of your print on both sides when you wrap it over. So that's nice there like that, and it still picks up all the colors nicely. And this right here, I'm going to put this piece. And then I'll show you the cards that we've done so far. Just giving you guys some ideas. And, you know, like I said, I'll be coming to you weekly with this so we can get through these. And I'll be throwing some extra ones in as well. This has just been a crazy week getting back in, you know, in the swing of things from having been gone away from my studio for almost a month. 3 weeks I was in Europe. And it takes a little bit to kind of get back in the swing of it all, and to kind of finish up some other projects I had, things like that. So I'm going to do this the same thing. I'm going to do it off the edge like that, wrap it around. I don't know why I like partial images when I'm doing things like this. I think it's not enough card to have, you know, like too much image taken over the whole thing. That's probably part of it. And the other part of it is I know I'm going to be putting text down, and I'll be covering some of it up, so I don't want it to compete too much with the text, like to have too many big spaces of stuff. So I think it's better when we do it like this. That's me. That's how I'm thinking about it. Trim this. Okay, so let's see. What do we have left here? So I did those, making sure I have everything I was thinking about I wanted to show you guys. All right, let's look at the cards we have so far. So this is a thing, we've added some, I was going to use some of this right here. Okay, I'm going to go through them and see where, we're going to put that right on here. Let's see. Definitely want the torn edge. Let's tear this other edge here a little bit. That did a strange tear. It's okay. Okay. Just do it right here on the opposite side. And then wrap it over. I like that. That really disappears nicely too. Let's just burnish it. Have that little bit of scripting. I like the fact that it's really small scripting too. So we're getting different shapes and sizes of text. Oh, come on, let's focus. There you go. See, but it's really nice and translucent. So, okay. Now, let's look what we have here. All right. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's pretty good. 8 cards. Started, you know, getting a little bit on each of them on both sides. Oh, look, that turned out good. So it's just like doing quick little sessions like this of working on your cards. You know, like maybe you're finishing something else in your studio and you have bits and pieces, you know, laying around. Go ahead and grab your Gellidex and grab your cards and just go ahead and, you know, do a few of them up like we've done here, and then just stick them in your journal here, and, you know, put it away. And so that's what I've been trying to do, is work these in with other sessions that I'm doing, except for I'm also wanting to tape them for you guys. So I'm not doing it as much as I would, because I want to like say, okay, I want to make sure I stop and tape it and show you all. So, but this gives you an idea. We've been doing it. We've been working about 30 minutes. And, you know, we've just gotten 8 cards front and back knocked out, and we'll just keep on building. And the main thing is do a little bit, put them aside, and then, you know, and then come back to them, do a little bit more. Like when I come back to them, that would be little things I want to probably add until we get them right where we want them. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add the storyline to them. That'll be the last thing we'll do. So that'll happen probably sometime in November. We'll start going through them, but by that time I want to have all these cards in this decks done. So that's our goal. So that's our challenge. That's what I'm challenging you in your studio. So think about it like that. Just have your Gellidex, and when you stop working for a while, just go ahead and do a few of them up, stick them back in there. Don't think in terms of I got to finish them. Just think in terms of I'm gonna get some information on them and put it back. And then, you know, looking at television, it's movie time, pull them out, do a few of them while you're looking at the movies. Easy. It's not to be like really planned. It's just to be spontaneous and just working through stuff. Alrighty, hope you guys love that, and thanks again for following me here. Focus Art. All right, take care. If you like this, please thumb it up and subscribe if you're new to my channel. And to all of my regulars, love your comments. Keep sharing. Love you all, and take care. Bye-bye.